Eve from Mystic Rainbow Tarot. Thank you for tuning in today, and this is a requested reading about Jimin and V from BTS and their friendship. Oh, and before I forget, please remember to share, like and subscribe, and follow me on Instagram if you wish to. So let's see what messages we get from Spirit about their friendship. So, messages about Jimin and V from BTS. How is their friendship? How do they get along? Are they still friends? What's going on with these two? V and Jimin. V and Jimin. Messages about V and Jimin and their connection together. How is their bond these days? V and Jimin from BTS. How are they getting along? Are they still friends? Let's see what we get. Whoops. So I'm just going to put these to one side and see what we get. So here we have the Wheel of the Year in this pack, or the Wheel of Fortune as I call it, and the we have the Fool as well. So hold these up where you can see them. So this is all about the events here, which sort of required Jimin and V to step out into the unknown, which would have been, I feel, when they became part of BTS, you know, the group. So, and they did actually find this exciting but scary, as they knew there was going to be a whole lot of change from the lives they'd been living with their families. But it was also exciting because this was the start of a career that they dreamed about for quite a while. So they felt like, you know, there was luck. Luck was on their side, and, you know, their luck had changed for the better. And it was also a turning point for them in their lives as the wheel turns, which is the cycles of life. And they also couldn't believe their luck when they both got accepted, because I'm getting the messages that they were friends beforehand, and I think they're about the same age, so they were happy to take this chance or opportunity of a new beginning, and thought that they would be travelling around the world, and that was an exciting thought, and doing what they love, their singing and dancing, and it also gave them a lot of hope and faith that their careers might take off, which we know they have now. So, and I feel they were very optimistic at that time, and their faith has helped them become such a success. So I feel that from the start of their journey, and even before BTS, these two had become friends. What I'm getting is a soulmate friendship. So yeah, and so I feel that they were destined to come together as friends, as best friends. And what I'm seeing is that Jimin has always been there for V, you know, with support and care. And these two do confide in each other about things, and it's about things they don't feel they can confide in with other people or other members about. It goes that bit further. Because soulmates, they just feel comfortable with each other, and they feel safe to confide in each other without being judged. And there's a lot of compassion and understanding here that they wouldn't get with other people, with other friends, or, you know, they are close with the other band members, but there's a difference. Soulmate things on a deeper level, it's a deep understanding of the other person. So next we have the Seven of Swords reversed. So I feel like this relates to V, and he went through a stage of questioning his own judgment, and his confidence was shaken, and I feel like there was some opposition to his plans, maybe arguments between him and the company, the ones in charge of BTS. I think it's been about maybe a solo song he wants to do. Maybe they're not allowing it yet, so there's been a struggle there. So let's see what else we have. Next we have the Strength card. So this relates to Jimin, I feel, who's always there for V and tries to help him stay strong. And as you can see, that's depicted with the lion there. So Jimin is the type of person who will go to V's room after a performance, for example, and listen with patience to his concerns. And he's compassionate when V is stressed and exhausted from performances, and will also give him space if he needs it, if he says, well, not right now, mate, you know. But so they've got this soulmate understanding here. So I feel their friendship is strong, and it's been tested before. I mean, they have their ups and downs, because people think a soulmate thing is always fantastic, but it's not. But the point is, they get each other and they connect at a deeper level. So they have bickered before, but it's not like just a friend acquaintance where you think, oh well, I don't need to see that person anymore. It's very different. They would want each other in their lives regardless, and they just move on from any bickering. So I feel that they've created this safe and trusting union between them that you do find with soulmate friends. Yeah. And Jimin is the one who has helped V manage his insecurities and build up his inner strength, because he has suffered with his insecurities and self-esteem. So next we have the Tenor Swords and the Eight of Swords. So these are not the best cards to turn up in a reading. They're a bit negative, but you know, so I feel this indicates V was or has been suffering with depression. That's the messages I'm getting. I feel like these two cards relate to the fact that he feels restricted by the company, by the bosses, and some of the time he's fighting against things. He's not going along with the K-pop system, and if you don't go with the system and do as you're told, they won't give you what you want. It's a bit like being in the army and trying to go against the system. It just doesn't work. You'll end up in a lot of trouble. So I I don't mean he's in trouble. They'll do it a different way. But they're not going to favour him for things if he's going against the system. It's a bit like someone wouldn't treat what they consider a naughty child. They're not going to give them treats or their pocket money. It's like that. So he's kind of like the rebel of the group. So while others in the group kind of do exactly what the management want, you know, and they'll be offered things like mixtapes, modelling, or a chance to do dramas and things. And I feel like Jimin and Jungkook and that they'll do exactly what the company wants them to do, and so they get pushed forward for things. It's not that they're not going to offer him things, they will, but in their own time, and it's a way of making him do things. They'll offer the others, and then it'll be like, well, if you do this, that and the other, then you'll get the same, you know, you'll get these opportunities. So it's all like that in the K-pop system. But I feel like he wants to be himself, and there's nothing wrong with that, but they don't really like you being yourself. It's just, if you sign up for the K-pop industry, they expect you to do as they want, and V does feel trapped. That really shows it in that card there, all bound up with the blindfold on. So he feels, the way he feels is, he feels like he's being controlled. I mean, he does do some of the things they want him to do, but not everything. And that's why he's like the rebel. But his bosses are not so bothered, because he makes a lot of money for them. So when they do put him forward for something, you know, it really sells or whatever. And he is very popular in his own right, and they see this. So they won't suspend him or anything, because he's valuable to them. But they're just making a bit of a stand with him. You know, you want to do something sooner, then you do like the others, you do as you're told. We're in charge here, you signed up for this. It's kind of that sort of thing. So I'm also getting that V is the reason re-signing the contracts took quite a few months, because he wanted to make sure that he would have more individuality in things that he wants to do in his career and in the group. I really do feel that V struggles with fame, and this is where Jimin helps him out, because I think V's one of the fans told me that his family owns a farm, and what I think is, if you're brought up on a farm, you know, you've had so much freedom. And it must have been great out there in nature, helping out on a farm, but he wouldn't have had all these restrictions. So what's happened is, it's been quite a shock for him. He hasn't been in this sort of strict regime thing before. So, and also all the fame came as a surprise to him and overwhelmed him. I really don't think he thought they'd get as big as they are. He's pleased with it, but he finds it very overwhelming from his country type background on the farm. He's had much more of a relaxed upbringing than some. So anyway, the next card is the Tenor Cups. And this Tenor Cups relates to the happy memories V has with his family and his, you know, when he was growing up and his previous time with them. And he maybe wonders whether he would have been happier being a farmer. I think he does actually, because he remembers how happy he was back then and the freedom he had. So this is what this card depicts, like his mum and dad. That's like him playing, and there's all the countryside here and a nice farmhouse in the background, and he remembers all that, nice sunsets and playing out till late and everything. So so I wouldn't say he loves fame, because it's also brought so many restrictions for him. But he does love his family, and because BTS haven't been able to do the things they planned, you know, like their tour and things, he has had the time to go and spend with his family and friends, and this has done him a lot of good. Spending quality time with his family like this, you know, has made him feel a lot better. It's cheered him up. He's on better vibes now because of that. Yeah, and I do feel that V is very family-fied. It means an awful lot to him. I think he misses his family when he's away touring and working away. So I would imagine that when V when the contracts are up for him, he'd want to go into something without all these rules and restrictions. They're not for him. He didn't realise what it'd be like. And maybe something like freelance photography or an actor, so he can have some months and weeks off between, so he can do his own thing and spend time with his family and friends. These things would suit him a lot more. I also see that he's very critical of himself, so that's a bit of a problem, and I think he suffers with sort of self-love, which affects his self-esteem. But you know, Jimin, he's really been there for V through all of this, through the lows and the highs, and now V sees Jimin like family because he misses his family as well. He has put him there with his family, and Jimin has a big heart and is caring and affectionate towards V, but of course these two have this special bond, and it is a soulmate best friends bond that will always stick. So I think even after their contracts are up, V and Jimin will stay close and in contact. Now, I'm not saying they won't stay in contact with the other members, and I know V is close to Jungkook, but he'll see him when he sees him and wouldn't worry so much if he didn't see him after the contracts were up, but I think he will. But it's just doesn't even need to be said with these two. They will, because even after they finish with BTS, life has its ups and downs. You know, they'll be there for each other. So they'll always be in contact. Even if they went a long time without contact, it's that sort of thing. They'd get together, it'd be like they hadn't been apart. That's what they've got. So let's see what the next card is. The next card is the Six of Wands. So I do feel like Jimin enjoys public recognition, as you can see on this card, and he likes being an idol or a celebrity. He's fine with it. He's okay with being out there in the spotlight. It doesn't worry him, and he's fine with all the attention. He can handle it. He can deal with fame better than most stars, and enjoys conversing with the fans because he's very friendly and sociable, and I think he enjoys a laugh and a joke. But it's V who's not as comfortable with all the attention that fame brings. But I do see that Jimin has this very unique singing voice, and I think it makes him stand out. And he's got a lot of charisma. He's got sort of bit of a stage presence. Well, I think he has. But I do feel that V and Jimin are proud of what they've achieved so far. I think V never dreamed they would be this successful as a group, and Jimin is just enjoying all the praise and recognition. He's fine with attention, and they both, you know, make sure they fit in sort of their hobbies and their own time, which is good. Because what I'm picking up is Jimin is quite sporty, so that's good. And maybe he does some martial arts. And V, I feel he'd enjoy photography, but I think he's quite sporty as well. So and also with their friendship, I feel Jimin and V give each other positive feedback and encouragement, which helps both of them, you know, with their self-confidence and everything. So yes, I do feel that their friendship is still good and growing stronger. Obviously it's matured with them because they're young men now, not boys, and it's growing stronger. And they were friends long before BTS even formed, and will still be friends long after their contracts are up. So I'd just like to explain, I have done a video on Jungkook and V, and V and Jungkook are also good friends. They're besties in their own way because he's got two best friends, but Jimin and V are soulmate best friends, which is friends at a deeper level, more like brothers. So that's the sort of thing they've got, and they know without saying that they'll always be in contact. So anyway, I'm going to leave it there. So that's the end of the reading. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next one.